Welcome to the Live with Brandon Blakney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakney.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Brandon Blakney, a.k.a. BrandonLee TV, back with another banger for the people. First, before we get started, man, appreciate everybody rocking out, reaching out, and subscribing, man. We're going to keep doing it big, keep getting it bigger. With no further ado, got to welcome our guest, Madison Wisconsin, Big Ten football player, Winston-Salem native, former East Forsyth Eagle. Madison, appreciate you joining me, my guy.
Hey, appreciate you having me, man.
No doubt, man. Welcome home. I know you still doing the college thing. I know it feels good to be back. Came in off the bowl victory over Wake Forest, being able to do it in your home city against some guys. I know they recruit East Forsyth pretty well at Wake Forest, so I know you're familiar with some of the guys too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, played with and against a lot of guys on that roster, so it was good seeing them. And then they recruited me pretty heavily coming out of high school. So a lot of guys on the staff and along with the players, it was good catching up with those guys. And like you said, getting that victory over them as well.
Hey, you can't forget about that. Now, how did it feel,
sure.
man? Having the fam there. You know, I know anybody that's seen y'all in games, y'all travel deep, always live. What was that like being able to come home and really get that done?
It was a great feeling. You know, the bowl experience is usually a multiple day thing, so it's usually like 4 to 7 days. So with COVID and everything, we only came like the day before the game and just played the game.
Okay.
So but yeah, it was great just being back in North Carolina, looking up, seeing everybody out there. I was telling my teammates, I was like, man, like I really wish we would have got a couple of days in Charlotte. It's a pretty cool place. So
Yeah.
and I think it's a place that the team would have enjoyed. But nevertheless, you know, we did most of the trip and we did what we had to do. But it was amazing looking up and seeing a lot of familiar faces and just being back in your home state. So.
For sure. I know it was a different vibe for y'all this year playing football with the COVID and you guys getting that late start. Before we even dive into that, though, man, I know you had got some recognition from some media outlets, Sports Illustrated included, for your work off the field. You know, just using your platform as a positive influence and not being afraid to speak up. You know, what did that mean to you to kind of get that recognition off the field? And why do you feel like it was up to you to say something?
Yeah, so for me, you know, it really wasn't about the recognition. It was all about, you know, the stuff going on. You know, people needed to speak up, and I've always been one. You know, you can ask my parents or people that grew up with me. I've always been that type of guy. You know, when stuff is shaking up, I've never been afraid to you know speak out. So and that was just
Right.
That was just another opportunity to really just you know stand up and speak out on a lot of things that have been going on. And as we all know, it was nothing new. It was stuff that we've been kind of looking over. And with COVID and that whole situation, with everything being shut down, I kind of created a perfect situation for everybody to kind of sit back and really see what's going on. Because a lot of times things like that happen, and we just cruise over it because everyday life brings on as much as it does. You know, America, we're a go society. So the fact that we actually had to sit back and look at what's really going on, it was a perfect opportunity to get conversation started and get some things moving forward. So the recognition, it was nice to have, but it makes me feel even better that we got some of these tough conversations started and that stuff is starting to take place to move things forward. So that's where I get the most joy out of this whole thing.
I know you're big into family and faith as well. Having that foundation is just so important. Just to really be a good person, man. You know, how do you feel like? I know it had to be some nerves being up in that area, the Midwest, some very opinionated people there. You know, the states around there. You know, do you feel like y'all made some leeway? Were you happy how things went?
Yeah, for sure. So, definitely just like you said, the Midwest it is a different area. So, just building, a reputation up there for myself where I can have those conversations with people in power, in on the campus and in the Wisconsin area. And yeah, so and the experience is different being a college athlete So I per se, like myself, haven't really experienced anything crazy, but talking to my minority peers on campus, who don't play sports, who are just students, they have a totally different college experience at the University of
Right.
Wisconsin than I do. So it's just being aware of the privilege I have as an athlete in the bubble that we're in as athletes, and stepping out of my comfort zone and talking to other people to seeing what it's really like, as a minority who is just a minority, and you're not really doing anything for the university. And that's a lot of the college athletics. They're gonna
Right.
treat you well as long as they can benefit from you. But then when they
Right.
can't get nothing from you, then you see how they really feel about you. But yeah, I mean, it was a great through it all. A lot of great conversations were had, and stuff is still being put in place to move things forward. So I'm excited of what we've done so far, and I'm looking forward to keep pushing forward and keep having those conversations to make it better in the long run. So.
That's awesome, man. Next generation, you guys really stepping up. You mentioned that experience being a student athlete. Being a student athlete this year was an experience like no other for you guys, I'm sure, with this
For
COVID
sure.
thing right around.
Oh, most def. Yeah, it was definitely different than in my fourth year. It was nothing like the first three. So most definitely.
I know you guys had a shortened season, man. Were you guys on eggshells? I know there was so much hoopla, especially from I know it was
Yeah.
more people, but Justin Fields kind of got pushed to the forefront with the petition and all that. And you guys were really, really wanting to play football, and Big Ten so big around there, especially for like the Wisconsin economy, which you guys bring.
Mhm. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So it was one of those things where, it was clear that everybody wanted to play. It's like
Hmm.
anybody who's gone this far, who sacrificed this much to get to the D1 level and be where we are. Everybody
Right,
wants to play. You don't sacrifice your whole life and do everything that you've done to get there and be like, oh no, I don't want to play. So it all came down to, everybody wanted to play, but at the same time, we wanted to make sure that a safe environment was created, and that the environment that we played in was going to be a good one, and that we just weren't getting thrown out there to get profited off of.
right, right,
So the whole thing that kind of arose, the whole we want to play movement, like everybody was in that boat. Everybody wanted to
yeah,
play. So it was just more, it kind of got delayed. So protocol and a better environment could be created, so we could go out there and do what we do, and have
right.
fun without putting, people at stake. So and it took a little longer than we had hoped. The season got delayed, and even during the
Hmm.
season, some games got canceled. But
Right.
I honestly, personally, I was just happy that we were able to get out there this year, and have the couple opportunities that we did, and with the NCAA not really counting this year against people. It was good for a lot of guys to get more film, and teams to just go, teams just go out there and compete. And then I think 2021, if we take the proper steps as a country, get this thing under control, hopefully we get back to regular college football, and we can just enjoy this thing.
Many people consider the Big Ten the top, if not the top, one of the top football conferences in America. You guys are usually loaded, a lot of talent. We saw Ohio State compete for a national title. You feel like it was a disadvantage or more of an advantage having the shorter season, like looking at it?
Um, looking at it, fully,
Hmm.
I feel like it can be a disadvantage or advantage looking at both. So you can say that it's a disadvantage because Ohio State getting to the national championship, that was only their seventh, eighth game. Where
Right,
some teams, where some teams they had, 13, 14 game. Well, I don't know how many games Alabama played, but I know it's
right.
significantly more. So they got more opportunities to gel as a team. But also, if
Hmm.
you look on Ohio State side, and the type of sport football is, it is a gladiator sport. So if they did
Yeah,
get those five more games, they might have would have showed up to that game with two less key players, maybe because of injury or how it works. So from that, from guys' bodies probably feeling better and being more healthy, it could be a disadvantage to play less games. But as far as gelling and the team coming together and everybody being on the same page, they could have been at a disadvantage there.
what were your thoughts on guys sitting out? A lot of guys sat out this year for different reasons. Had to make the business choice for them.
honestly agree with it personally. I mean, it's one of those, a lot of uncertainty going into this year.
Right,
If you projected to go first, second round, I think I honestly, if I was in that position, I wouldn't have played. So
right,
so it's one of those, like, and we know that, the NCAA, it's a $1 billion industry. A lot of money's being generated with it, and there's a lot of rules against student athletes getting certain things. And like I said, I mentioned it earlier, football is a gladiator sport, so it's not one of those that you can just go out and play a whole bunch for fun. It's like, okay, at a certain point, you need to make your money before
facts,
because the body starts to give out in football. The average career is like
right,
2-3 years. So it's one of those, and I know later we're gonna talk about Johnathan Taylor. The humble guy he is.
definitely.
After his third season, we had some conversation, and he was like, part of me wants to come back, but I feel like I should move forward. And it's one of those. I told him, I was like, look, man, in this sport, you got to make the money while you can. Go make your money, especially as a
Right.
running back, because there's no guarantee how long you're gonna be there. So go get your money while you can, and because you ain't gonna be able to play. This is the type of sport you can love it, but it won't love you back. Them hits gonna add up on you one day. So you gotta go get paid while you can in football. So those guys who decided to
Yep.
make that business decision, they've generated in their 3 years that you got to be in college. I'm sure they've generated probably 100 million each for these universities. So it's time for you to go make your own. I definitely agree with it.
I love that that's a smooth transition. Doing my job for me, man. With the Johnathan Taylor, I knew we were going to talk about that. I had him on my fantasy team this year, so I was very excited. And this is a guy too that your pops was pitching to me last year when he was a junior at Wisconsin, with you guys saying that he could potentially win the Heisman. This is a guy
Mhm.
you've seen for years in practice, seen his work ethic, and it's carrying over into the league. Were you surprised? Are you seeing the same stuff that you saw us in Wisconsin on the field with the skill set?
For sure, for sure. So yeah, I know that when he first got there, he was getting limited touches because Indianapolis, they had a really good running back room.
Right.
Marlon Mack, who tore his Achilles early in the year, he had a big season the year before. So
Yep.
so 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 coming in, it was one of those. He was kind of waiting on his opportunity, and we all knew that when his opportunity came, he was gonna make the most of it. And as the year started going on, injuries and different things coming about, he started to get more and more opportunities, and we all knew the more he played, the more opportunities he got out there, the more comfortable he was going to get. And we saw towards the end of the year, he started to get comfortable, and he set the franchise record, a single game with like 253 yards against the
Yeah.
Jaguars. So it's one of those where we all knew he's the type of guy. All he really needs is opportunity, and once he gets that opportunity, he made the most of it at Wisconsin. Coming in as a freshman, he got his opportunity early, took advantage of it. Same thing happened in Indianapolis. It just came during the season, and when it came, he's a guy who's going to rise to the occasion. So his big playability is something that we definitely missed this past year, and he took that with him to the league for sure.
Man, it seems like you guys are constantly, even the running back position too with Melvin Gordon, but it seems like you guys
Mhm.
are constantly pushing people into the league. What is it about Wisconsin, in your opinion, when you signed there? What sets you guys apart, man?
Well, I mean, Wisconsin is just like you said, we're known for turning out those running backs year in and year out, and a big part of that is our O line. So the
Yeah.
running back is more of a glorious position, but just as much as we're turning them out, we putting out first 3 round O linemen. So those two kind of go hand in hand. O line you and running back you is a conversation that we can definitely be in with any
Sure.
team in the country, and we've all seen that kind of that trend kind of continue to show itself. And then Wisconsin defense is something that's known around the country, and our defensive coordinator Jim Leonard, he does a great job. I've never been around anyone who sees the game and talks the game through as well as he does. Sitting in meetings. He's my position coach
Okay.
specifically, so he coaches defensive back. So sitting in meetings with him daily, and just seeing, trying to pick his brain and see how he sees stuff, and seeing him put game plans together. It's been phenomenal to be around. When I'm done playing, I'm looking to get into college coaching. So he's definitely a guy that I spent a lot of time with and tried to pick his brain a lot. So I can hopefully so I can implement some of this stuff against him. So
Hey, most definitely, man. Most definitely, the student becomes the teacher.
For sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, yeah, he's definitely one of the best in the business. Yeah, Wisconsin defense. I know that we're like at least in the top 10, year in and year out, and it's a product to the staff. You know, of Wisconsin. Our defensive staff has definitely been consistently one of the best around. So.
I wanted to, because I was thinking about something too with Insta. Like you mentioned the coaches. I know your pops is a coach, and with that realignment going on now, it's going back to kind of how you guys were when you were competing for a state title and you guys were playing Mallard Creek. It seemed like every year. They got East got a state title. Got a couple state titles, I should say. And
Mm-hmm.
now they're going back to playing them Charlotte schools, man. What's your thoughts on that realignment and everything kind of going back to everybody playing everybody?
I like it. I've always been one. I don't want to be crowned a champion unless I beat the best. So it's one of those going a route to where you could win a state title. But you don't have to see those Charlotte teams. That's not really a route that I would be interested in personally.
Gotcha.
My junior year, we lost to Mallard Creek in the semifinals in overtime,
That
and
was a
that's one of
tough
those.
one,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's one of those games that I think about all the time. But I'm glad that we went through it. If it would have been set up for us to go another route and not have to play them, it wouldn't have meant as much. Knowing that a team like Mallard Creek, that they won a championship in a higher and probably more a competitive division, and it all goes back to what I said at the beginning. To be the best, you got to beat the best, and I love the challenge of seeing those Charlotte schools every year. So me personally, anybody who's a competitor, they're gonna love that, and they're gonna embrace those challenges and make the most of them. And when you do win beating them, then you really know that you're the champ. So.
Facts, facts. I love that, bro. You gotta beat the man to beat a man. I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah, guys,
So I'm
guys, yeah, hey, guys who want to run from that type of stuff, they not, hey, that's just not how I'm built. I want to go through the best. So, but go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, definitely. Hey, they hear me talk all the time. We here for you, for the guests, man. We here for y'all. I know. Before we let you go, man, I wanted to pick your brain a little bit. And it's crazy because you're in a family full of basketball players. Got your basketball history too. Had an older brother, Drew, do his thing, set the stage for y'all. Jalen went Power Five. You got Joy underneath y'all doing her thing as well, man. What is it like growing up with so many athletes and seeing too, Jalen, man, name has just been all international headlines. What does it bring you to seeing that? I'm thinking about those backyard battles back in the day.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's definitely great because when you see how well Jalen's doing right now, and it just everybody succeed where they've gone. And you know everything that's gone into it.
Right.
We were actually there with each other. We all of those early mornings, late nights, all of those fights that was picked over sports that like you just see it all paying off, and it's a great feeling. More than anything because like I said earlier, everything that you put into it, and
Right.
and and, and
Right.
just to see it all pay off, it all feels good. And then all, but also JJ, Drew kind of set the standard for me, and I always kind of chased Drew and wanted to be like Drew. So
Mhm.
JJ kind of looked at me with him being next behind me and kind of followed my lead. So yeah, just seeing him do well as a big brother, it makes me feel good. Really makes me feel like that I did my job. You listening to me on this podcast, you can probably tell that I gave him a bunch of tough love, and it has paid off, seeing him do what he's
Definitely.
doing right now. So hey, he's fun to watch. I look forward to watching him play, and I just can't wait to see how he continues to develop and how his story unfolds moving forward. But yeah, it's just fun to see just seeing everybody do well.
You know what's funny to me about the situation is everybody that's seen Jalen over the years already knew like he was a crazy athlete, and it was always like
Mhm.
people, how's the jumper gonna translate? How's the jumper gonna translate? Comes in pretty much the best 3-point shooter in the ACC. Your
Yeah.
pop's working with him, man. Like that's just a testament, man, to see that.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch, and it was fun to be a part of growing up. So.
Madison, before we let you head out, my guy, let them know where they can find you at on all social media so they can continue to follow your journey, man.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm Coney 31 Island. So CONEY 31 Island, ISLAND. And you can find me there, and you can continue to follow to see. I'm gonna play one more year this upcoming college season, and then I'll
Okay.
go.
Breaking news.
So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna see what happens from there. So I'm excited to see how everything happens moving forward.
Madison, appreciate you again, my guy. And we'll definitely have you on before you head back out. And be safe in New York next week, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate you having me on.
No doubt. Hey, that's a wrap for us. For all the ladies, y'all make sure you hit that subscribe button. You dig?
Let's do it.
What's up, everybody? I hope y'all enjoyed that last segment with Madison Cone. Now we got Father Cone, Coach Cone in the building.
In the building,
Man, in the building, fresh off running practice. I know y'all got a big game this Saturday on the Hoop State Network.
Yes,
Got
sir.
Mikey Williams and these guys coming to town, man.
Man, we ready
Fortunate to
to
see
put
you
it
guys.
on Lake Norman, baby. We ready to put it on them.
Hey, Coach, I will say this, man. I've seen y'all play twice first year, and I will say y'all ain't running from no smoke. Y'all boys will play anybody.
Man, we want anybody. Man, I called LeBron to try to get the Lakers through, but they wouldn't show up.
Man, they probably still tripping off the Nets in that Harden trade, man. They shook right now.
Well, they shook. They shook, boy. They shook.
Hey, Coach, but let's peel back a little bit. I just want to dive in. First off, man, just seeing everybody succeeding right now, talking to Madison. Jalen's name's definitely been in a lot of headlines, and a post that you shared today about the more than just him being the best 3-point shooter in the nation, but them grades, them books, just hyping that up as much, man. And it seems like you have the recipe. 4 kids, all of them college athletes.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna say I have the recipe, but I do believe I have a little formula that can help people for success. And I'll be honest with you. I'm just a little man in my heart sometimes, a little hardened, or let me say this, a little man, just really, I don't know, softened just when I see a lot of things that are going on with kids and youth sports and how
Right.
things are going. And I hate to say it, man, I can see some kids, man, I like, man, this kid is heading for straight failure. And sometimes, it's the direction of the parents that are taking the kid. And I'm just like, man, and I'm seeing some very good kids. But then also, I got to be honest with you, man, I'm seeing in some areas a drop off of talent just because I think some of these kids are getting bad direction, man. Real bad direction. So
Right.
So here I am at Shining Light Academy now, trying to help kids go in the proper direction, man.
Now, Coach, I know you've been doing it a while as far as training girls and guys for all age groups, being
Yes,
like
sir.
a mentor to these kids too, and then having your own doing that. What kind of philosophies were going into you building year one, trying to establish a culture at Shining Light year one?
Well, man, really, be honest with you. I think you said it best, man. I'm trying to develop some tough kids. Now, listen, this is a big thing with me, man, because listen, we're a Christian school, man, and listen, this is just me, man. I believe the toughest people in this world are Christians. I believe the toughest man to live ever in this world was Jesus Christ. And man, listen, I believe the Bible, and I just believe that. Man, that as we can take some of these same principles and we can take it on to the court. And those are some of the things, tell you the truth, that I try to put into my sons and daughters. Now, listen, I'm not talking about being no perfect individual. I'm not talking about being
Right.
somebody who's just super spiritual angel. I'm talking about living life on earth and seeing God use you. And so I'll be honest with you, man. I'm really excited because we've developed a culture, some tough kids who have come from everywhere, man. I got kids from all sorts of different backgrounds, and God is just really blessed, man. I'll tell you the most important thing I'm excited about is I've had 6 players give their life to the Lord, man. And that, man, shoot, that right there is
Awesome.
the big thing there. But I'll be honest with you, Brandon, man, we on this court. And in the beginning, listen, I called everybody. So anybody I haven't played, just know that they didn't answer my phone call. Because I called everybody. I said, listen, I got a group of guys. And let me tell you this, Brandon, this is the thing. I had the superstars call me. You know, I had kids, Division I signees call me. But I really didn't want that. I wanted kids that we could develop. We could do some things with and create them and put them on that platform. And then that's just the thing we tried. And I think with kids like Will Rhodes and Nasir Gibbs, who are the two top stores in the state, you know, we developed something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Joy is the leading girl scorer in the state. So, you know, I mean, we're just trying to develop something that other kids will say, hey, I want to go play for that program because, man, they're developing kids. And then parents are seeing, you know, the direction that we're going in. And we got a group of good kids, you know.
Now, I've seen different conversations had about this topic. Now, in high school, you have to balance. Obviously, it's your job to win basketball games, but you're also developing these kids on and off the court. How do you balance that part of winning games and still preparing these kids for the next level, college-wise?
That's right. And listen, now today, right now, I have our varsity scrimmaging a group of college, and some guys are getting ready to go pro. So I got them playing against them. But earlier, you know, coaching the JV, I think we were up by 2. And I told them straight out, I said, man, listen, guys, we're going to win this game, but we're going to do it the right way. You know, so what happens is the key is, man, is them having the proper character. Listen, the fact is now what makes us a little bit different, you know, we ain't cursing and fussing over here. I looked at one kid, I said, listen, if I hear a curse word, hey, you're suspended. You know, I mean, we're over here.
Right.
Listen, we're going to be gentlemen on the court. We're going to play hard. We're going to be aggressive. And we ain't going to back down, but we ain't going to act crazy. And that's the big thing of teaching these kids, you know, proper ethics. I think one of the big things that happen in is, you know, people they want to win games, but they'll throw everything out the window when it comes to having a proper culture. And so
Right.
that's not the way we wanted to do it. That's the reason why we didn't take the senior superstars. I said, man, hey, give us an opportunity to build and let's put some things in some of these kids.
Definitely love seeing you guys doing it year one. Making some noise, man, early, making strides, playing some big games. I know that you've been through this recruitment process several times now, 2 kids at Power 5 schools, you know, seeing the progression that Jalen's made and just continuing to get better. What advice would you share to parents that aren't really versed in this recruitment thing, and what types of questions should these guys and these parents should be asking these programs before they just send their kids off to some program? Because we see it now, man. The transfer portal's nuts. It's like NBA free agency.
Man, listen, you are right, man. It's going crazy. Now, the only thing I would say is, Brandon, you know, the way this process has been going with recruiting for years, you know, I just seen on both sides, the students and the families. Then I'm also seeing, you know, with the coaches that you know that, you know, there's been a lot of, what would you say, deceitfulness on both sides. Now, I tell people all the time, my number one goal straight out was, listen, I'm looking for free education for these kids. So even when I'm training,
Right.
I'm looking at kids, you know, and that's the excitement I get when I see a Noah Ulrich sign a Division I scholarship, where a lot of people said, well, this kid wasn't that good, and you know, and people told me, he ain't all of that, and he's going D1. And then, then just seeing some of these other kids turn around. My daughter Joy this year, a lot of people didn't even know she had necessarily interest, but she just played, hung around, and, did
Right.
things that she liked doing, like singing and being in pageants. But listen, she turned around, you know, going to play, college ball, free education. So I'm telling them, man, hey, listen, let God use the gift that you have, take it on. Now, listen, there's bumps in the road. A lot of people look at some people's path and they say, well, that's the path I'm gonna take. But listen, there's different paths to take. But let me
Right.
tell you this.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you this, Brandon. It's very important, man. A lot of people got the wrong people in their ear. Now, look, this is the
Talk
thing,
to
man.
him.
Can I say something, man? Now, I met a billionaire, really good guy. He was helping out with our basketball program, and I want my family, I want my kids, my family to be blessed. So I don't go to Joe Blow on the side and find out how, to be financially successful. What's the name? Listen, my boys went down. I never forget Madison and Jalen went down and spent some days with this man. And Madison asked him questions. How did you become financially successful? And the man showed him a picture of how he was raised in a trailer and just his inspiration. And listen, the guy lives right across from Neil in Orlando, Florida. Right across.
Okay.
Bubba Watson lives in the neighborhood. Grant Hill lives in the neighborhood. So I say that.
Oh, wow.
You put them around people. Now, let's go to this recruitment thing. Why are you and parents dealing with people that have never developed anybody? And I'm saying don't go by their word. Look at their fruit. Who have they developed that have taken to the level that you want your kid to go to? And that's the issue that's going on. One of the blessings, in coming to Greensboro, North Carolina, is some people, a couple of parents have communicated to me and talked to me. And one of the things, man, I'm saying, man, you just got a lot of people giving bad advice, and people are listening to it.
Right.
So now kids are being led astray and doing things that are crazy. And you're like, what in the world are y'all doing, man? You're veering all off. And so, man, that's why I put that post up today about the education, because it's been on my heart. When I tweet, sometimes something's on. I got up, I prayed, and man, that thing was on me, and the rant was on me this morning. And listen, these kids spending endless hours in the gym, and their schoolwork is terrible. What are you doing? Because this ball gonna stop bouncing. And
for everybody.
What are you gonna do? The thing, you just had Madison on here. The thing I'm most proud of, Madison is 12 hours away from getting his master's. He'll get his master's next semester from the University of Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? And then he can see where his dreams are, getting a pro draft. So I'm just excited, man. That thing, when the lady, and I couldn't tell the full story in my tweet, but I get to the game, man, the advisor comes up to me, man, and said, your son is blowing it away. I'm going to be able to nominate him for a lot of things. He got a 3.7. And everybody's looking at all these threes. That's important. But listen, the truth be told, one of the first conversations with Jalen when we get on the phone is how's school going, And then, listen, I got to be straight up honest with you, man. I know I'm talking a whole bunch. Man, a lot of it comes from listening.
No. Keep going.
I got you. Right?
Yeah, you good, Coach.
Hello, I got you. Yeah, the deal is, man, my mom, Alice T. Cone, man. Listen, she didn't play, man. That education was it, man.
Right.
Bro, listen, I played college ball at UNCG. My mama would yank everything,
Yeah.
So that's the deal, man.
Man, just finding that right fit.
So
how important is that for these guys? Man, you gotta find somewhere where you're comfortable, get the right academic advisors around you. I guess it's really about finding a campus that really suits you, not just the basketball program. or whatever
Not
sport.
just basketball. Yeah, and parents, let me say this. If I say this, Blake, let me put this out. Listen, a lot when my boys initially went, a lot of people think I'm LeVar Ball Jr. No, I'm not. Listen, my boys went, and a lot of times, listen, Jalen's official at VTech, I didn't even go. Madison, for initial visit to Wisconsin, I wasn't there. I wanted them to go and feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, listen,
Right.
Madison got to deal with that Wisconsin weather. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
Facts.
you know, Jalen deal with up there with Blacksburg. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I'm appreciative is
Right.
that my family allowed me to make a decision. You know, my mama could have said, "No, you're gonna stay in New York, or you're not going under the Mason-Dixon line." But you know, they allowed me to come to North Carolina, and I loved it. And I'm saying I wanted to allow my sons. You know, a lot of parents, man. Oh gosh, we hear this all the time. I'm going to go there, man. They trying to live their dream through their kids.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And this right here is their journey, you know. And they're gonna make some choices in life, and you know, we gotta allow them to make choices. Now we're gonna help and give them advice, but at the end of the day, you know, they make choices, and we're there to love and support them. But we gotta allow them to make choices, you know.
And you brought
So, yeah.
you brought up a great example of LeVar Ball, man. He catches so much hell, but I feel like his plan got his guys to the ultimate dream. 2 top 5 draft picks in the same profession. Never happened. Like as a black father, we see so many that aren't there. So I feel like, you know, why is it that the strong ones that are opinionated are the ones that are being attacked?
And it's the truth, man. Now listen, me and LeVar we met in the city of Palms, down there. We were at Fort Myers. Jalen was in 5th.
Yeah.
He was in 8th grade. He was playing BAM, and we were playing down there. Me and him just happened to listen. Now I didn't know who he was. We happened to play Chino Hills twice that year, and so, man, listen. I sat down, man. We ended up talked, messed around. Listen, I was probably crazier than he was. Tell you the truth, man. And turned around, man. Listen, he was a regular guy. But you know what? And that's the thing that people don't realize. He was a regular guy. But you know what? He just had a plan and a vision for his family. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I got a plan and vision for my family.
Exactly.
And just like, you know, a lot of dads do. And so what happens is, man, we just went and battled, and, you know, and now I think he played a couple of things and did a couple of things. So things kind of fell their way. But you're right, man. You know, when you're outspoken and you're there, you know, a lot of people will say some different things about you. But I tell you this, man. Hey, listen, when I can look at my boys and see them college educations and see them degrees coming, man,
straight up,
it sure makes me proud. You know, when I turn on Packer and Durham today, my son, it sounds like an intelligent young black man on national TV, on the ABC network. I felt, listen, people, okay, yeah, and all of that, and all that other stuff. But the bottom line, man, we really, tell you the truth, almost brought a tear to my eye, man. To my eyes, just seeing Jalen being respectful and just holding himself right on TV. That was very impressive to me, man.
Definitely hold it down, man. Such a humble young guy out there doing his thing. Coach, man, y'all done a great job, and I just want to say I appreciate y'all, what y'all doing for the community. You being on the show, and let them know where they can find you out on social media, man, so they can follow you guys' journey this year.
Hey, man, listen, you can find us on Shining Light Academy. I know we're on Twitter, Instagram. You know, you can follow me, Coach Cone. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Harold Cone, Coach Harold Cone or Coach Cone on Facebook, man. Listen, man, you're going to see I'm going to put a lot of stuff out. But parents, let me say this. You know, we're looking to do some workshops. Hey, we want to help you out. Listen, I'm not saying I'm no expert. All I'm saying is God has blessed me, put me in a great situation. And a lot of these things I learned, a lot of things I had to run from, people I had to run from. And a lot of people don't like that when you don't go in their program. But the deal is, I did do what's best for my kids, and even with school, having them choose the right school. So, man, listen, we're gonna do a lot of things, just trying to be a blessing. So, you'll see that on the social media pages.
Most definitely. Give my guy a follow. Make sure y'all follow the journey. And y'all keep subscribing and supporting us as well over here at Tobacco Road Sports Radio. For
Yes,
all
sir.
the latest and the greatest, man, that's a wrap for us. Subscribe to Live with Brandon Blake. You dig?